Hello, welcome to Lil's Vintage World. Today I'm going to be doing a tag video and I'm going to be doing the self-aware reader tag. I was tagged by Sean from Sean the Book Maniac, whose channel I love. I find him very funny and you should go and check him out if you haven't already. I will leave his channel in the description box. So, shall we get into it? There are 9 prompts, so let's get into it. Question 1. What most draws you into a novel or story and makes you want to keep reading? Plot, characters, writing style, atmosphere, something else. So for me, what kind of draws me to a story is, first of all, usually the age of the book. I like to read classics. I particularly like classics from around 1890 to about 1965. I don't know why. Oh, that's my puppy. That's kind of like the age bracket that I like to read books from, and I like books to be written in that age as well. So not like written in 2020, writing about 1920. I find it more submersive because the writing style is just spot on, and I think it's a great piece of like social history to be able to read about books from that time. So it's age that usually is the first thing, and then I like kind of fashion and style and a bit of humour. I like university. I like romance. I'm a big kind of romance sucker. I think that's why I like Barbara Pym and Angela Thirkell and Elizabeth Taylor, and I like all those type of authors because that's kind of my boat. So yeah, it's usually age, and then I like a plot that's funny but warm, charming, and a bit of romance chucked in there too. Or I like murder mystery. One or the other. Okay, question 2. What is a convention or trope that will immediately turn you off your reading experience with a novel or story? For me, I think it would be if the writing, this isn't like a trope or anything, but if the writing is too worked or too overly descriptive. So for me, Hardy, Dickens are a big no-no because it feels like I'm running through treacle. Like I feel like I'm getting nowhere with the story because the writing's just so heavy and my brain just goes off. Literally a little switch and it just goes off because it bores me. So if the writing is just too descriptive, too sloggy, I'm like, no thank you, not for me. Question 3. What most appeals to you when reading non-fiction and makes you want to keep reading? So in terms of non-fiction, I like non-fiction to be addictive, like a story. I like non-fiction to tell a story, not just be like, facts, facts, facts. This is my interpretation of the facts. I want it to be, this is so-and-so, and make it really fun and interesting and, you know, make their story really gripping. And some authors do non-fiction really, really well. I'm not too much of like an academic type of history book. I like popular non-fiction history. I think that's more interesting. Yeah, I want it to tell a story. I like that. 5. Would you say you read more for pleasure and enjoyment or more for what? I'll start that again. 5. Would you say you read more for pleasure and enjoyment or more to learn and exercise your brain? I read for both, really. I read because I enjoy reading. I read because I like stories, but I have this little fear of not reading. So when I was at school, we used to have spelling tests, and you used to have to get so many out of 10. I think it was either 7 or 8 out of 10. And if you didn't get it, you lost your break detention. You ended up in like break detention. And every single week I'd end up in break detention pretty much because I can't spell for toffee. It's awful. Despite the fact that I worked for hours with my dad, you know, a couple of days before and the day before and stuff like that, and we'd go over it again and again, and I still wouldn't get it right. I couldn't do it. I'd never get, you know, I don't think I ever got 10 out of 10. I pretty much most weeks got break detention because I can't spell. And funnily enough, a couple of years before, that same teacher went to my parents and said, she doesn't read enough. And my parents were like, what? And my parents stood up for me because of course they're my parents, and they went, all she does is read. But my teacher was like, she doesn't read enough because her spelling and grammar is so poor. And so I think if my spelling and grammar is poor, which I know it is, but if it's this poor now when I read so much, what on earth would it be like if I didn't read? So I have this kind of fear of if I stopped reading. So I read because I'm scared of what on earth would happen to my brain if I stopped reading. But I do enjoy reading. Like, I generally just enjoy stories and getting immersed and going down like a rabbit hole of a time portal. I do really like that too. 6. What types of books are you likely to rate more highly and enjoy more overall? Brain candy, pleasure, enjoyment, books or brain protein, learning, exercise books? It doesn't matter. Both. I mean, I read more novels because I find them quicker to get through and it gives me that satisfied feeling. But I can give a novel 5 stars and I give non-fiction 5 stars. It's just what I like in them is just the thing that's got to hold me. So I don't look for the same thing in both the non-fiction and fiction because they're two completely different things. But if I enjoy them, I mean, I enjoy learning generally, so I enjoy exercising my brain. What a geek. 7. Do you have a sense early on whether or not the book you're reading will be a 5-star read or a book you'll really like? Has a book ever surprised you in this regard? Now, I'm not one of these people that's ever done a 5-star predictions video because I can't look at a book and go, that's going to be 5 stars. I can't do that. I don't know. But as soon as I've started reading and I've got through the first page, first couple of paragraphs, I will know. Because for me, I have to click with the author's writing style. I find reading hard. I don't find reading easy. I find it difficult. Even like an easy read, I find tricky. So I need to kind of connect on that level with myself as a reader and them as an author. And if we connect, I'm like, this is going to be a 5-star book if the plot is as good as the writing, if that makes sense. So for instance, I read My Husband Simon by Molly Panter-Downs. I'm pointing because it's over there. And within the first paragraph, I knew it was going to be a 5-star book because I just connected with her. Her writing and me, we get on like a house on fire. So I knew. 8. Considering books that you've rated 5 stars in the past or you don't rate them, the books that you really loved, I do rate mine. Do you think you would feel the same way about them now? Why or why not? I think I would, because I don't give many books 5 stars at all. 5 stars is quite a rarity for me. I do the Goodreads rating, so for me a 1 star is I didn't like it. 2 stars, it's meh, it's okay, it's not great. 3 stars is it's good, not amazing, not really good, but it is good. 4 stars, that was a really good book, you know, that was really good, really enjoyed it, really good, you know, very happy with that. 5 stars, that book was another level, blew my socks off, amazing, can't get out of my head, just wow. So not many books get 5 stars from me. And if they do, they are books that I read and reread and reread again. I tend to keep books that are 5 stars. And books that aren't 5 stars don't tend to stay on my shelf unless they're part of the series. So on my shelf, the books that I've read are like 5 stars, some 4 stars as well, but mostly like 5-star books that I think are just wow. And I reread them all the time because I have to. So yes, I think they would. And then the last question, well, last prompt is to tag people. And I am going to tag Julie from the channel The Hungry Bookworm. So Julie, you are tagged and I'm really intrigued to see your answers to these questions. So that is it for this tag video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Chat to me all things bookish in the comments section down below and I shall see you soon for the next video. Bye for now.